Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.
Hello everyone, it's Father Ian, and welcome back to St Bede's Church in Newsham. We already have one candle lit on our Advent wreath, the candle of hope. And today we get to light the second candle, the candle of peace. There are lots of things in the world around us that might make us concerned or worried. And so we might ask God to give us peace, to let us know that God loves each of us and that nothing can get in the way of that love. So as I light this candle, you might like to light a candle in school or at home. Peace is like a light shining in a dark place. Today we light the candle of peace and welcome peace into our lives.
Hello everyone, it's Catherine again from St Mary's. Last week we explored angels in our video, and Eleanor and Ian and I dressed up as angels for God's fancy dress Zoom party. I know, we looked a bit silly, didn't we? But we discovered that we don't really know what angels look like, just that the Bible tells us they're special, that they help people, and that they bring God's messages. In the Christmas story, there are lots of angels, and today we're going to meet someone who had a visit from an angel. We're going to meet Mary. Now, if you'd been told by an angel that you were going to have a very special baby, you'd probably want to talk to somebody about it. And that's what Mary is doing in our video. She's gone to see her cousin, Elizabeth.
You made it. Come in and sit down.
It's so good to see you, Elizabeth. It's been much too long. Are you well?
Happier than I've been in a long time. But you look different from the last time I saw you. Has something happened?
I don't even know where to begin. I mean, the last few weeks have been a bit of a whirlwind. I suppose I should start with the biggest news. I'm going to have a baby.
My goodness, what wonderful news. Although, I must say, I am quite surprised.
I'm quite surprised myself.
Well, I suppose it should come as a shock to hear that I'm having a baby too.
That's wonderful news, Elizabeth, but I must admit, I already knew.
Oh, well, how on earth did you know that?
It's a little bit complicated, and it's quite hard to explain. You see, recently I had a visitor. His name was Gabriel, and he was a messenger from God, an angel.
An angel? From God? My goodness, that's definitely not what I was expecting you to say. Are you sure you've been sleeping well?
Oh, please believe me. I know it sounds strange, but it was amazing. I mean, the angel Gabriel told me that I was going to have a son. Not just any son, but the Son of God, who would be a great king one day.
For such an incredible thing to have happened to you, you just seem very calm about it all, Mary. I'm sure if I were told the baby I was carrying would be the Son of God, I couldn't be so relaxed about the whole thing.
At first, I was really very scared, but the angel was so kind to me and so calming. They told me not to be afraid, and somehow those words just brought an amazing sense of peace with them. I knew I could trust them. I knew that this was somehow right.
That is amazing. So I must admit, it's hard to get my head around it. So how do you feel now?
I still feel a bit scared, but it feels like the right thing too. Ever since Gabriel and I spoke, I've been filled with this wonderful sense that I'm doing something important for God. It's as though this were the reason I was born.
I think that shows us that you found God's plan.
But what does that mean?
Well, Mary, I believe that God has a plan and a purpose for us all. It can take some time to find it, but I've always put my faith in him. And I believe that he guides us to the right place at the right time so that we can serve him and serve one another. Some of us get big jobs like you, and some of us get smaller jobs like me, but they're all so important.
I agree. I'm so grateful for the angel Gabriel and the message they brought me, carrying my purpose. It's such a great gift to receive.
So, have you thought of any names yet?
Well, Gabriel told me that too. I'm to call him Jesus.
Well, I think Mary really enjoyed seeing her cousin, don't you? Sometimes we all need somebody to talk to. I really like Mary's story. I like how she met the angel, how she was really afraid, but then how she felt that sense of peace because she had a special job to do from God. I wonder, do you like Mary's story? I wonder if, like her, you've ever had a time when you were really afraid and scared like she was. Or if you've ever been asked to do something and you thought you couldn't do it. Maybe you thought it was too hard, or maybe you thought you weren't brave enough to do it. I wonder if you've ever felt like you had an important job to do, or if there was something simply that you knew you had to do. Like you saw somebody who was upset and you knew you had to be kind to them. Mary thought that she'd been given a great gift because the angel brought her a message about her special job. But like Elizabeth, I think we all have a purpose. But I wonder, if we don't have a message from an angel, how do we find out what it is? Well, I wonder if anyone's ever told you what you're good at. Or I wonder if you've ever found something that makes you feel really alive and excited inside. Perhaps you've sometimes just had a feeling of what the right thing to do is. I think those are all ways in which we find out our purpose in our lives, by the things that we do well, the things that make us feel alive, and just the things that we notice that we can help with. I hope you enjoyed Mary's story. Next week, we're going to meet another character who encountered an angel. We're going to meet Joseph. See you next week.
Oh, tidings of comfort and joy, comfort and joy. Oh, tidings of comfort and joy.